Abiding Doonabrae in exceedingly cramped conditions, you'll discover monsters, dragons, dreamers, romantics, thrill-seekers, and a myriad of real and magical creatures, living famously within Portgordon's Lampie Hoose. Their only chance of escape is through you. Every Tuesday, between 2 and 4 p.m, through Pots. Portgordon-Off-The-Shelf Book Swap.
We've invited our first Portgordon visitor, stroke resident, recently from South Wales. So, hi Roddy.
Hello.
Where are you from in South Wales?
Bargard.
Where is that?
It's in Caerphilly County.
So, what brought you up to Portgordon?
To see everyone, like my dad and my mum and my stepbrothers, stepsisters, and my half sister.
And do you enjoy Portgordon?
It's awesome.
Really? What's your favourite bit about Portgordon?
The seals. I like to see the seals floating.
Okay. Okay, I hear you have been painting stones.
Yes.
What's that all about?
So, first time we started was when I was down here last and I saw painted rocks everywhere. So this time I came up, Mum brought acrylic paints and we started painting all the rocks. And at first it was just like a little normal thing, we were going to put them around the town. Now everyone is joining in and we've started a snake by the harbour.
Oh yeah?
And it's for anyone who wants to join in.
So anybody can go and paint a stone?
Yeah.
Doesn't just have to be the kids from Portgordon?
Anybody who wants to, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I see you've brought me a stone,
Yes.
which we've put outside the Lampie Hoose, and it's a pot stone, so I'm going to keep that. I may put it on eBay in about 50 years' time. It'll become historical. It'll become like a souvenir from Portgordon.
Be in a museum.
I believe we were calling this the Potscast, but I believe you've come up with a different name.
Yeah, the Portcast.
The Portcast, like the forecast.
Yeah, we got to get it for all the other port towns like Portessie and Portnocky.
Oh. So, what do you think of the fact that we've got a book swap here in Portgordon?
It's really nice because, like, normally the library would do it and you have to return it in a while, but here you can give books away that other people might like of what you've read, and then you can get even more books, and you don't have to pay. So it's like a little library, but you swap and you get to keep them.
Right. Or they can bring it back.
Or they can bring it back. Yeah.
I think all the books we've put a stamp on it saying Lampie Hoose.
Yeah.
So
Lampie Hoose
if you take it back to Wales, we can find you.
Oh no! This trackers in the
Track
end.
you, yes. And do you like reading?
Reading is quite fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long have you been reading?
I don't know the exact date, but probably since I was like 5 or something.
And how old are you now?
10.
Wow, so at least 5 years then.
Yeah.
And what kind of books do you like?
I like books like The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I like sort of fact books, sometimes like history books.
Mm-hmm.
I like David Walliams, he's good, and then I also like Roald Dahl.
Oh, right, okay. Which Roald Dahl book is that?
The BFG.
The BFG. Right. Was that one that you donated to the book swap?
No, it wasn't.
No, okay.
I donated some
But you've
books to
donated
everyone.
quite a few stuff. Well, at least
Yes.
you and your family have.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have.
So I was going to ask you, Roddy, do you think it's important that kids should be reading?
Yes, because it helps them, like, fuel their imagination, and if you, read more, it's easier to understand things.
Okay, yeah.
At least in my opinion.
Oh, that's cool. I love reading. I used to love books as well. Well, I still do love books. So this Roald Dahl book, I was going to ask you, would you mind just reading the opening for us?
Okay. The Witching Hour. Sophie couldn't sleep. A brilliant moonbeam was slanting through a gap in the curtains. It was shining right on her pillow. The other children in the dormitory had been asleep for hours. Sophie closed her eyes and lay quite still. She tried very hard to doze off. It was no good. The moonbeam was like a silver blade slicing through the room onto her face. The house was absolutely silent. No voices came up from downstairs. There were no footsteps on the floor above either. The window behind the curtain was wide open, but nobody was walking on the pavement outside. No cars went by on the street. Not the tiniest sound could be heard anywhere. Sophie had never known such a silence. Perhaps she told herself that it was what they called the witching hour. The witching hour, somebody had once whispered to her, was a special moment in the middle of the night when every child and every grown-up was in deep, deep sleep, and all the dark things came out from hiding and had the world to themselves. The moonbeam was brighter than ever on Sophie's pillow. She decided to get out of bed and closed the gap in the curtains. You got punished if you were caught out of bed after lights out. Even if you said you had to go to the lavatory, that was not accepted as an excuse, and they punish you just the same. But no one about now, Sophie was sure of that. She reached out for her glasses and lay on the chair beside her bed. They had steel rims and very thick lenses, and she could hardly see a thing without them. She put them on. She slipped out of bed and tiptoed over to the window. When she had reached the curtain, Sophie hesitated. She longed to duck underneath them and lean out from the window to see what the world looked like now that the witching hour was at hand. She listened. Everything everywhere was deathly still. The longing to look out became so strong she couldn't resist it. Quickly, she ducked under the curtains and leaned out of the window. In the silvery moonlight, the village street she knew so well seemed completely different. The houses looked bent and crooked, like houses in a fairy tale. Everything was pale and ghostly and milky white. Across the road, she could see Miss Rant's shop, where you bought buttons and wool and bits of elastic. It didn't look real. There was something dim and misty about that too. Sophie allowed her eye to travel further and further down the street. Suddenly, she froze. There was nothing coming up the street on the opposite side. It was something black, something tall and black, something very tall, very black, and very thin.
So have you read that book?
Yes, and I've watched.
So have you read that book?
Yes, and I've watched the film in the cinemas.
Okay, so which was better, the film or the book?
Always the book, because it has more detail, but the film was really realistic and I liked it.
Okay. What other books have you read that you really like?
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
What's that about?
Diary of a Wimpy Kid is about the main character, Greg. One of his books, for example, Dog Days, is this summer. He's talking about how his parents are forcing him to go outside when his thought of perfect summer is staying inside and playing video games. But what happens in one part of the book, which is really funny, he goes into the pool, but he has to go through the showering area, and his little brother runs off, and he has to chase him through. And he's like, oh, and he's looking away, and at one point, he falls into the pool, and it's just hilarious.
So you actually find yourself laughing out loud?
Yeah.
Right.
And then the next one's Diary of the Wimpy Kid, something like The Ugly Truth, and it's like The Ugly Truth, Long Haul, Cabin Fever.
But you like David Walliams. Is he your favourite at the moment?
Yeah, because I like Demon Dentist, Gangster Granny.
I think we've got Gangster Granny here.
Well, I'll look for that.
Yeah, I think you guys donated it.
Yeah, I think we did. I was looking for the Diary of the Wimpy Kid books because I was like, oh no, we might have donated it because I really like those books.
Mm-hmm. What other books, other than fiction, you say you like sort of true stories as well?
I like comic book, Marvel books. I have one at home. I got from one of the antique stores.
Right.
It's really big and it's full of a couple comics. It's in my bag.
Right. So we've had lockdown at the moment. In fact, when you were reading, I was thinking he was describing a street very much like the streets were a few weeks ago.
So no one's out. It kind of looks a bit desolate.
Right. So what have you been up to during lockdown?
Well, I have been doing online school, which I kind of like a bit more because you can finish your work and then you have fun time, chill time, everything like that. Mm-hmm. And at home, it's been my birthday. Yeah, I turned 10 in April. We had a trampoline, so that was a shared gift from my mum and my dad. Mm-hmm. So I was going bonkers on there. Yeah, we've done loads of stuff. We've went on walks, been playing in the garden. My dad has been teaching us a bit of football. We've been going to the football pitch at the top of Portgordon most days.
I heard you were collecting some of the rubbish out of the football ground.
Yes, a couple of days ago we got a big bag. Today I'm definitely going. I want to go.
Why?
Because I just like to.
You think people should stop chucking rubbish?
Yeah, because there's more room to play. Because of what we're doing, throwing rubbish everywhere. Animals of different species are coming and eating them because they don't know what it is and that's what's happening. Mm-hmm. So they go to eat it and then they choke.
Okay, and you don't want to be playing football in all of that?
No, 100% not.
So how long are you going to be, when do you have to go back to Wales then?
Friday.
You've got to go back to school?
Yes, so what's happening is we're going back for 2 days a week. We're going to do a little bit of learning and then we're going to do online school on the days which we're still out.
So you must have lots of friends down in Wales that you miss?
Yeah.
Okay. And can I just ask you, what do you enjoy in school?
I like Welsh. Welsh is good.
All right. Tell us a bit of Welsh.
Green, Dimon, Hoffi, Rugby. This is my saying I don't like rugby, but I do like rugby. That's it. That's just an example. I love rugby. I'm a rugby
So how do you
player.
say I love rugby?
So, dwi'n hoffi rugby achos mae'n great. So what
So
I
say
said
that
is
slowly, I want to learn it.
dwi'n hoffi rugby.
Dwi'n hoffi rugby.
But in Welsh, rugby is rugby.
Rugby.
Yeah, and if you want to say like, I like rugby because it's great, you can say dwi'n hoffi rugby achos mae'n great.
Dwi'n hoffi rugby achos mae'n great.
So like,
And how do you just say hello, how are you?
hello's the same, but it's spelled H-E-L-O.
Okay.
We spell it differently and we say stuff differently.
Right.
But like colours, like pink is the exact same, but like red is coch, blue is glass.
Koch and glass.
Yeah. Yellow is melon.
Melon. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, fun. I like Welsh.
And tell me, do you read any books in Welsh?
So we read like the story of Gelert.
But that's a real Welsh folklore
Yes.
story.
Yes, it's a bit problematic.
Right. That's a sad story. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Do you encourage people to come to the book swap?
The BookSwap is amazing. Like you've got like mystery, suspense, thrillers. You have loads of like there's some science books. There's some kids books down there. So there's like romance books. There's kids books back down there, and also you can find board games. Lots of board games, puzzles, very good puzzles.
And very nice people to welcome
Yes, yes. We have Carol and Sean here. They're really nice.
you. You've got to say that bit.
Every time we come in, we always have a big chat.
That's right. No, because you're so easy to chat to. I love chatting to young people who actually can hold a conversation, which is great. Anything else you want to say to these beautiful people of Port Gordon?
If you're ever bored, paint some rocks and come down by the harbour. And
I like that. If you're ever bored, paint some rocks and put it in the harbour. Yeah.
all you have to do, you go up the Lampie Hoose
Yeah.
down the road, and where the metal fencing is, and the harbour's down there. It's just on the wall.
Okay.
We put a lot of rocks there today.
Okay, cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Do you like what did you think of the name of this place, the Lampie Hoose?
I like it. It's like the wee Lampie Hoose.
Do you know the story, the history behind it?
No.
Okay, well, I'm not going to go into that right away, but they used to call Port Gordon Paraffin City because they used to light the lamps, the gas lamps with the paraffin stored here in the Lampie Hoose. Port Gordon was the last one, apparently, I may be wrong, but I think it was the last village along this coast who had gas lamps. So people used to call this area Paraffin City.
It's cool that his mum today got a book about Port Gordon history, and I've seen like a picture in one of them. It's like boats, and there's so many boats. Like now, if you look at the harbour, there's a couple boat.
That book was written by Peter Reid, who lives here in the village.
Yeah, Peter Reid.
It's a good name for this place, isn't it? Except his name is spelled R-E-I-D, but he's like a local historian.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's very knowledgeable. I'm hoping to get him on one of our podcasts.
That would be cool.
Anyway, Roddy, it's been such a pleasure, and you're our first. And as you can tell, I am no professional at this, but
Pretty good.
I
don't know how to do it. Like I'd probably be like.
both of us are amateur professionals.
It's like a new TV show. Like
Yeah.
it's broadbanding all over Scotland.
Well, cheers. Thanks so much. We'll see you
Thank
again when you come back up to Port Gordon.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, God bless. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you to our first guest, the delightful Roddy Mayo. Thank you to Philip Banks, voiceover artist. Music provided by www.purple-planet.com. My name is Carol Mason-Corkery. Thank you for listening and keep on reading.